Hi, Katwyk here, and I want to show you guys how to put on an Ebbe Bond flange when you come into a situation like this where you already have a three-piece drain installed. This is really typical in Utah, so most of the times in new construction, the plumber's already got a three-piece drain in, and in order to use a RodKat shower tray or any shower tray that has a topical waterproofing, you're going to have a bond flange. So the first thing we'll do is take off the clamping ring. With that clamping ring, you're going to want to put it in and drill those holes to match in the bottom of the Ebbe Bond flange that clamping ring. You do that by using a 5/16 inch drill bit. You'll drill those 4 holes, you'll put it back on the drain base, and you'll make sure that they fit. Once you see that everything fits and lines up, the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install the RodKat shower tray. The RodKat shower tray, you'll use your 3/8 inch by 1/4 inch notch trowel or something similar to this to get plenty of thin set and plenty of coverage onto your subfloor and then onto your foam shower tray. Once you thin set that in place, you'll drop that onto your floor, press it down, make sure you've achieved 100% coverage. Now you've got your drain installed, or your tray installed. Now it's time to install your bond flange. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to use a polyurethane sealant, and you're going to want to create a gasket using that sealant on that drain base. Be sure to put plenty on there. Don't be afraid to get enough that it's going to ooze out of the bolts. Just go for 100% coverage, so use plenty of the sealant. With the sealant down, then you'll take your Ebbe Bond flange and you'll press it down onto the drain. Be sure to put thin set around here first as it drops in, so you'll have thin set coverage underneath your Ebbe Bond flange. And then that's where we're going to spread the thin set here. Then we're basically going to set this back down and around. Then we're going to screw the screws back in again. This is just a typical bond flange with no fabric, no membrane. This is the down and dirty version that a lot of times is, especially if you're doing tract houses and the contractors don't want to pay for an upgrade with a drain. This seems to be the most popular because you can still use the drain that came with your 3-piece drain on the job. Sometimes those drains won't screw in all the way. The reason why is these threads are just a teeny bit bigger than the ones for the Ebbe Bond flange. When that happens, what we do here is just with your tile saw or your grinder, just cut a couple slots into that drain. What that does is when you're screwing it into the bond flange, it collapses those rings, the threads, and it'll go back down into place. So again, guys, this is probably your most economical, cheapest version of getting a bond flange for topical waterproofing using what you've got on your setup with your 3-piece drain already. Ebbe also makes the Versa drain. The Versa has the fabric on it already. So again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to drill those holes with that clamp ring to match. You're going to do the same thing as far as sealant around your drain body, and then also your thin set around the top. You'll drop that into place, do your 4 bolts, make sure everything's tight. You know, if you've got the sealant coming out of your bolt holes, that's really good. That means you've got good coverage, and again, you want a really good seal on that gasket. With your thin set, you'll again push out your thin set. Now you've got this installed. Now go ahead and put in your topical waterproofing. So you'll do whatever choice of waterproofing you want to use. You know, we prefer fabrics, and you know, most manufacturers have a fabric waterproof membrane. You'll put that on, let it dry, open it up, put your plug in, do your water test, then start to tile. We make these, here at RodKat, we make these pieces here that actually will go inside the Bond flange. So once you get your drain riser screwed down into place, you figure out the height that you need for your tile. You can take these and thin set these filler pieces here, and they'll drop down into the cavity of that Bond flange. That gives you a base that your tile can set on, and then again your thin set will go over the top of that and your tile to that. And it's a nice open area for secondary drainage. So that's what I really like about these Ebbe Bond flanges, is the way it's set up for that. So that's pretty much how these work using the Ebbe Versa drain here that has the fabric and the pieces here, or just again, we'll call this the Ebbe Bond Flange down and dirty. You buy the piece just like this, screw their drain back into it. Again, I've actually even made a ring for these guys here too, guys. So again, it's a filler right there. So this is how we do it. We'll post some videos along with this once we're installing in the field. Thank you.